didn't know it because our clock is broken here at Rip Radio Network, and you're tuned in, which means only one thing. We're way off the script.
We're off the fucking script already.
I have a whole intro for almost 7 years, and now it's broken because our clock doesn't work.
You're tuned in to Chip Chat.
You are tuned in
Radio
to Chip
Network.
Chat, and I'm Chip, and that's Tez.
What's poppin', y'all? Lord, this clock.
Man.
Yo, it's 9:30.
We are
Thursday.
into uncharted territory here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I already can't do digital clocks. Now I have to use a wrong digital clock and double back my math to turn that into analog time. And I can't look at my watch because that's wrong on purpose. I'm in big trouble.
Yep.
It's the Tez Show tonight. Welcome
it's
to
all
the
good.
Tez Show.
What's up, everybody? It's 9:31, 68 degrees in Berwyn Heights.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. If Esther Chamakila is listening, which you know she is, she's in bed by now. But we pattern everything off of your morning delivery.
There it is.
Yeah, we don't have a cat though.
We don't.
No, she's got the cat, Prudence. Prudence is like the real star of that show. She just reads the news.
Yeah.
Anybody can do that.
We try. We try every week.
So not everybody can do it. Apparently, it's very difficult.
I've been listening back to some of the shows like,
yeah.
Okay.
All right, so this week we're gonna check in on the Metro, which none of us wrote up here, so we're all safe. The former guy's having some legal trouble, including an update to one of these stories, which is out of date as of the time that I ran it off the printer.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Yeah, not this time. And let's see. I don't know what else. Oh, that Tinder profile that people have been using.
Yes, I did see that. Yes,
might
later
be
in the show.
Ashley Madison.
Not again.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I can't believe anybody fell for that. I was 100% sure what was going on there. And some people are like, no, this is legitimate. Like, yeah, okay. And the OnlyFans, they'll be listening.
Of course they will be. Yeah.
Because now they've got, on the OnlyFans, which is not the OnlyFans, unless there's any confusion.
No confusion there.
Is where people can go to look at that 30,000-year-old naked statue. Because the actual website was like, no, we got to blur out this clay figurines area. And so they're like, this is, I'm not making this up. The art museum in Austria, I think, they're like, well, that's it. We'll just put it on OnlyFans. Because it's for artists.
Hey.
And it's not for explicit content anymore. Only baseball. Go check it out. Catch the crop duster fever. But don't breathe in near the crop dusters. That's a thing. Okay. We're way off. I told you this is going to be a train wreck.
9:33, though, so we're doing okay.
It's like Metro. It's a train wreck. It's a blue line joke. Get ready. Red line, you thought you were the only one that could crash and kill people.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
They're not listening.
WMATA, if anybody from WMATA would like to come on and
Stacks.
challenge
Stacks,
Chip.
this is your problem. Fix the damn trains. My buddy Stacks fixes the trains.
Oh, so we just blame him for the...
Yeah, I'm blaming him. He has nothing to do with it.
Nothing at all.
He just works there. But I know he works there.
You know he works
there.
there.
It's your fault.
A problem that's been 3 years in the making.
Literally one guy I know.
Stacks is a good name.
Yeah. Oh, Stacks is... You would get along.
Stacks?
Yeah. Stacks is cool.
Stacks is just... That's a dope-ass
name. Yeah,
name.
he knows a lot of stuff. All right. Also, we have guests tonight.
We do have guests tonight.
But we're not going to introduce them yet. We're going to leave a mystery.
They're around. They're close.
Yeah, they're nearby.
They're nearby.
On the video, you may accidentally see their shadows, which they're lurking in. Dangerously. Yeah. One could even say that they're pulsing behind the scenes. If you can count on them to be here later, they may be pulsing behind the scenes. Intrigue.
I see. Whoa. Radio tease.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Ready for the big broadcast.
Hey,
that's right. Intrigue. All right.
Wow. So I mean, it's going to be a terrible show.
It's going to be terrible. Even worse than usual. It's already a pretty bad show. All right. You got a word?
Lord, this is. I always forget that.
I don't know. I got a word. Thinking about it. It's time you got to have a good word.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. We got to have a really good word.
Well, I have one. I don't think it's good, but it's a word. I'm going to use it.
I got one.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. So sit back, grab some
conductors.
It's Railroad Spike time. You're listening to the best show, the only show, Chip Chat on Ripped Radio Network. Welcome back to Chip Chat here on Rip Radio Network. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's poppin'?
All right, so now we're going to talk about the Metro, which we've sort of alluded to. And the Metro is our subway system.
Yeah, a beautiful thing.
In Washington. It's run by the WMATA.
The WMATA.
What does the WMATA stand for?
What is it? It's the, what's it, Washington Mass Transit Authority?
Washington Metro Area Transit Authority.
Somewhere like that.
I think so. Yeah.
Something
WMATA.
Like WMATA.
Yeah. A relatively scandal-prone agency, I would add. Whether it's the controllers getting literally beaten to death while they're trying to, like, operate the central control system, to drivers having the controls fail on them while they're desperately trying to save their own lives.
There was that crazy overtime story that the Post did maybe like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes.
Where they like brought in like new people and they're like, hey, we're going to clean this up. And they're like, we're running your asses out of here.
Yeah, they absolutely did not let that happen. The Central Control Center, that was a big deal there. And then there's the water infiltration in the tunnels.
Yes. The smoke on the
the smoke.
I don't want this to be a WMATA bashing session and all, but
we don't have to. There's the whole Washington Post for that.
Exactly.
Okay, so they're not good at their job, which is fine. We understand that. I mean, it's not fine, but
it's not. I'm going to try to find empathy for the WMATA at some point in the story.
There's a lot of good people who work there, but they're just trying to do their jobs, like literally trying to keep the trains running on time, and then they get in trouble for doing that. Because the point of WMATA is to make sure the trains don't run on time.
I don't know what else I want to argue against that. But I'm just sitting here like, you make a valid point.
Okay, so this is a huge story locally, but it does highlight the infrastructure debate that's going on nationally.
True.
We are, as a nation, way behind on transit, specifically in rail and bus rapid transit, BRT, that you might hear. Whole cities are underserved. Sections of cities are specifically unserved. Those are the black sections of those cities that they just cut the routes. And the key to climate change reduction, of course, is to make truly convenient transit available to everybody.
Yeah, because if it's convenient and it's available to everybody,
it's got to be viable. You've got to get the cars off the roads. You got to leave. Now, the roads need to be there for people like, say, me, who are in service trucks needing to go fix things, right? We need to be able to drive around and go, your electrician needs to get to where he's going, plumber and blah, blah, blah. But we don't need it clogged up with a bunch of people like going out to eat, going to their jobs, grocery shopping. We need a system that is convenient for all of the other people.
Correct.
Okay. We have the opposite of that right now. We have a completely unusable system that basically doesn't work for most people. Is that about right?
I would agree.
Okay. Good. We're going to hell in a handbasket. So without transportation, we can't function, but we should move people almost exclusively by collective means, or at least by non-exclusive means, meaning not cars. And I say this as somebody who loves cars. I love,
and even for myself, I love cars. But over the last like 10 years, I've tried. I ride a bike. That's where I go majority because I'm in the city. Like
you're the BMW.
Yeah, BMW, bus, metro, walking.
There you go.
Well, they messed up. They
took away the middle part.
They took away the middle one, and they didn't add any to the front end.
Now you're just Buffalo Wild Wings with B-dubs.
I think I'm just W.
Yeah, right.
I'm just walking places.
Can't bike around here. You're going to get run over. Hey, Muriel. All right. Whole nother topic.
Right.
All right, so Metro service was basically cut down to 40% on Monday because the Blue Line derailed twice in like the space of a mile or something like that. And it turns out that this had happened a lot of times. Not just to those cars and not just to that train, but to like all of the cars and all of the trains. And Metro has known about it since 2017.
And let's just be specific. The trains are the newest trains.
It's the new trains that are screwing up.
7000 series, the shiny, shiny new trains that lovely train. Yeah, lovely train.
You know, I bet you what, mark my words. We're going to make a prediction here on Chip Chat. When we get down to finding out what the underlying flaw here is, it's going to be inches to centimeters metric conversion problem. 100%. These trains are built in Italy. They're metric. And we here won all the wars, so we didn't have to learn metric.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That is it.
But they then bought trains from the metric people. And France is behind all of this, I guarantee.
Oh, this is...
They've got pink money, too.
You're war on the pink money.
The pink money! It's got to go. But, all right, so the Metro derailed. Metro knew about it. Didn't fix the problem. Continued to not fix the problem. And continued to bury that the problem existed for 4 years.
And this is a reoccurring trend with them. Like,
yeah.
It seems that this is how they just operate.
Right in the middle of the pandemic, too, that they're trying to, get people to come back. Metro went through this terrible time with ridership where they, the trains were crashing and killing people. The stations were crumbling and falling apart, also killing people. And they were trying to get over that. And they went on this massive revamp campaign. They brought in all this new management. They were doing a pretty good job of selling a story. They got all these new cars.
They did.
They convinced the 3 regional governments to pony up the money to do a lot of things. But it turns out that these new cars are shit. They're garbage. They derail.
Yeah, the axle, I think, is from what I've seen. There's something about the axle.
It has to do with the spacing of the wheels on the axles.
Okay.
I don't know how much you know about trains, but the important thing to know is that the wheels have to be tight to the tracks. Essentially, the wheels have, like, the running surface on the track, and then they have, like, a ridge or an outer rim around them that rides along the inside of the track. And they've got to be tight to it so that they don't slide left or right, vis-a-vis the track underneath the car. And it's all adjustable, right? The trucks underneath the cars have all these sensors and things, and they move the wheels, and they can expand and contract and stuff because they got it to get around turns and all. That's all fine. But it appears that this was not properly measured. And it seems like a very obvious thing that you should have to get right. And that you would have picked up when testing these things.
And I think, especially if you've known, let's say you've known about this for 3 years, right? And something comes along, let's say like COVID-19, the pandemic.
You have this great opportunity.
Where all the riders are not using the train at this point. This might be the time where you could even do this on the low. You could just come up with one of those random, hey, this week we're doing
temporary
improvements, whatever.
Improvements, right.
Take them out and just work on this.
And not tell anybody.
Yeah.
Well, can I?
Oh, Brian.
Brian. There he is.
Brian.
Yes. I've written on, when you mentioned this story, this was kind of funny because the last couple of days I've been writing Metro to work, and I noticed I've been writing on the 6000 series, the previous thing, and I was like wondering, it's like, where's the new trains? And surprise enough, today
you're not on the orange and yellows though. You're on the red and blues, right?
I was on pretty much on all 3. So coming back, I noticed, where they had the graveyards or the station where they hold them up. And I saw a lot of the 7000 series. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Because I didn't know what was going on.
The old cars are white and the new 7000s are all silver. So they're very obviously different.
But the thing is, it's like the 7000 series, I've written them, even while everyone was coming back for the pandemic and all that stuff, it seemed fine. I felt I was riding smoothly. I like how it looked and everything. I figured it's like, hey, we're moving into the future. These are nice looking cars and all that stuff. So hearing this story,
turns out it was a death trap.
Well,
yeah, you were just one wrong turn away. From
right, but the thing is, the funny thing is, after hearing that, and as you were continue on with where it's like, how it could be this train on this line where I've heard even like a few years prior there was another derailment with the old trains, and that's why they try to get these new trains in.
The blue line is got a really lot of straight run. It where it doesn't really turn, so it should be the easiest line, like where nothing happened, and where it derailed is on the straightest part of the line. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, you realize how close we came to having to produce the show ourselves, Tez? You know how bad that would have been?
Oh, Lord, they wouldn't have. Yeah.
Yo,
he almost destroyed
think about your own sanity. You know, most of the people in the control center listen to Chip Chat every week.
Right.
That's when the trains crash. Is that
Shout
hour
out
and a
Stacks.
half? And so he doesn't work in the control center. But like this is your problem now. You could have accidentally killed Brian the producer, and we could have been having to produce the show
I've been on there's many weeks that are difficult for me. I'm like, whatever, cool, just roll with it. This Metro has been like the thorn in everything that I've done this week.
Well, they want to make it up to you, and the 200 and some odd riders who were on the train that derailed.
Tell me how.
They gave them $21 each. 21 whole dollars, but not American, in Metro credits. They didn't even give them like green money. Yeah, they gave them. They're like, here's some fare cards. We're like, well, we all use Smart Trip. There's no fare cards anymore.
Can I use that to get the Metro gear, like the Metro sweatpants?
Yeah, I want
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they do sell those.
Yeah, they get on there, right? I kind of want one of those ones with the.
I definitely have the special edition Metro hat from the Obama inauguration.
Oh, inauguration one?
Yeah, because I had a buddy who worked there who slid me one. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, they do merch, right?
Speaking of.
Yeah. Oh, you should buy our merch. Now, as we like to mention,
you can't get the white woman, you can't get the dog.
No, they're not included.
They're
but
not
we don't
included.
have better models or even accurate models because our CEO is a cheap son of a bitch.
This thing looks like it belongs on like One American Network or something.
Yes, it's that level of quality. Except on OAN, the white woman would be cowering in fear of a dangerous person of color.
Yeah, it'd be a black dog.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. No, it would be a Pomeranian. Or something, like the whitest dog you can think of. I don't know what's a whiter dog than a Pomeranian.
A German Shepherd.
No.
Everybody's
got German Shepherd. Ubiquitous kind of dog. Like a little Boston Terrier. Yeah, Yorkie maybe.
One of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, nah. Bulldog's kind of universal. I don't know.
No. People seem
maybe English Bulldog's pretty white dog.
Yeah,
it's English after all.
I feel like the Greyhound is the new pit bull for white folks.
Yeah. Oh, everybody.
I see everybody
wants a Greyhound.
Everybody has a Greyhound.
Yeah.
I see him walking around with it.
It's not a cuddly dog.
It's not.
It sleeps like a dead roach too. I don't know if you've ever seen that about them. They sleep on their back with their feet up like this, like they call it roaching. It's
and depending on the size of your Greyhound, I might confuse it for a Whippet.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. And there's Italian.
I'm sorry, I probably have offended many.
There's Italian Greyhounds, and Chuck Bell's a big Greyhound guy. Now he's going to make it rain for a week.
Wait,
yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a Greyhound guy.
Well, no, I was going to say he's Jewish.
No. No. But him and his husband have Greyhounds. No, but he's a weatherman, so he
can't make it rain. No one can make it rain.
Treyon says I can.
See, now you got me playing into. No, you got me playing into this shit now.
All right, so if you want your $21, get on the Metro and wait for it to crash. It'll take 3 or 4 minutes. What else is it gonna do?
You have a faster chance of the train crashing than it coming to pick you up.
That's true. Doors opening. Oh shit!
Mind the gap.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. On that note, we're gonna take a break. Send Tez back to England with this weird tube stuff.
Hey, that shit probably works though.
Yeah, it does.
That shit's been around for years.
When it kills people, it means to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. It's a bomb shelter. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Chip Chat on RIP Radio Network.
Fresh Fries.
order. Smorgasbord of all assorted organs. Sterilize the operation table, it's important, get immortalized. Morbid curiosity can kill a cat. Finding out the thickness of their skin when we peel it back. Deal with that, composite sketches let you know the premise. Reassemble all the pieces till the people start to grimace. Menace to the norms and your society gets suckled from addicted to the process. Could never be a one and done. Look alive, nothing we creators got a shelf life. Modified, call it Frankenstein, feel electrified. Body start to rise, starry eyed, heart mechanic, pump something. Synergy, but never see it coming, look alive. Nothing we creators got a shelf life. Call it Frankenstein, modified, feel electrified. Body start to rise, starry eyed, heart mechanic, pump something. Synergy.
Never saw me coming.
Methods are effective, so they're repetitious. Never listen when the masses mention petty limits. Every difference that would hinder most is only motivation for achievements with the research of a scientific nature. Patience versus compassion, don't really have to weigh it, cause a hyperactive sympathy will penetrate your greatness and delay it. I ain't wasting all this carbon on this carnival, and at the very end I find no interest in what God you call. Darkness is a fixture that I tend to like. Trading secrets past for generations with the Mennonites. Stitching all the imagery from universal physics. Utilize my statements with duration at the image. Saturate the party on chloroformic Mardi Gras. If you think the torch is wrong, think of it as study hall. Practice makes perfect, plus muscles need memory. Product won't prosper from such a weak pedigree. Look alive, nothing we creators got a shelf life. Modified, call it Frankenstein, feel electrified. Body start to rise, starry eyed, heart mechanic, pump something. Synergy, but never see it coming, look alive. Nothing we creators got a shelf life. Call it Frankenstein, modified, feel electrified. Body start to rise, starry eyed, heart mechanic, pump something. Synergy.
Never saw me coming.
Hey yo, we gon' break it down on the real. That's mind, body, spirit.
It's alive.
All right, welcome back to Chip Chat here on Rip Radio Network. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's poppin'?
That was a song from our guests tonight. Now, because they're so famous, the whole audience already knows who that is just by listening to the track. So we won't say.
Yeah, exactly.
We're building the intrigue.
We're building it up.
We're trying
Supreme Radio teasers here.
Yeah. We don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
You know who else doesn't want to give it away? Two-shirt Bannon.
Two-shirt. He does only have.
He always wears two shirts,
man.
There's something very wrong with that guy.
He's just his whole background and stuff. But he's just here for
the
chaos.
Video game stuff.
He's just here for chaos. He's not here for anything else. He's just here for chaos.
I think he has some sort of operating concept of white supremacy, but but not in like a very specific way.
Yes,
not
I
like
agree
Miller.
with that.
Like Stephen Miller's got like a specific kind of white supremacy that he wants, and like Bannon just wants like the white supremacy to commit chaos. That's what he wants, I think. I don't know. Guess what? He is in big trouble. Kind of, but not really, because our country doesn't actually care about things.
It's just a bunch of shit on paper.
Yeah.
Unless you follow. It's just
so here's what happened. The select committee in the House subpoenaed Bannon, and they're like, you need to show up and testify. And Bannon was like, nah. And then they were like, well,
very
we're gonna,
creative nod. Too.
Yeah, it was
very creative.
Yeah, he was like,
well, we need. It was very. Like I'm missing
but also executive privilege, but also and also executive privilege, and I don't know what those words mean. That was essentially it, right? And then, so the select committee subpoenaed him tonight. That went to the full House to vote on. They voted to hold him in contempt of Congress for not following through on his subpoena.
And it goes to the DOJ now, right?
Now it goes to Merrick Garland to decide whether he's gonna press charges. There's a grand jury step or process involved. It's got to go through the courts. It's convoluted and long. And at the end of this, even if he did show up, he's just gonna fucking lie. Like there's no, when you subpoena a witness and you want to get him to tell the truth, the way that you do that is you have the corroborating evidence dead to right. Then you put him on the stand and you ask him a question that you definitely already know the answer to and see if he will lie about it. But in Bannon's case, we don't have the rest of the evidence.
Right.
Because these guys have been exceptionally good at keeping this secret about what was going on at the Willard Hotel on January 5th. Who bankrolled what? Like, we have some of the information, but it is not open and shut. And that's the problem. When you subpoena somebody who's an uncooperative witness, you have to already know the answers before you put them under oath.
And those answers are, I mean, they're not there at this point.
No, we don't have them yet unless Benny Thompson is got it and not telling us, or maybe,
right,
which is entirely possible.
Entirely possible.
But, it is a situation where the people who tried to overthrow this country continue to move around this country with impunity as if they didn't try to overthrow the country. And they are, proud of themselves and anticipating a chance to get back into the levers of power where they can go back to overthrowing the country.
And it seemed like from the vote I saw today, it was only 10 Republicans agreed that people tried to overthrow the country.
Yeah, they don't even think that this happened. And it's funny because some of them were going to get killed.
And it's almost like maybe, and this is the cynic in me here, maybe it should have went the other way.
Here you go.
There you go.
I mean, the Capitol Police let him in anyway, right?
Yeah.
And it turns out now we've got a few instances of Capitol Police officers consorting with the rioters, telling them how to get rid of evidence, right? Which, of course, that was not a shock to anybody.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, we know that the cops, no matter what kind of cops, are still
we know
cops.
that the lawmakers, come on, I mean, I'm not, let me couch that for a second. I'm not accusing any of these lawmakers of that.
I'm not accusing Lauren Boebert of giving tours to insurrectionists so that they would know exactly where and when to attack the Capitol. And I'm not accusing Marjorie Taylor Greene of doing the same thing. And I'm not accusing Paul Gosar of slipping the codes to people about how to get in and out. And I'm not accusing Mo Brooks of facilitating this with maps and things.
And I think for the listener, as well, too,
but I'm not accusing
exactly. And no one's telling you how to think. I'm just asking, would you like to think? Think about, just think through these things. These are all thoroughly reported things that have actually happened. So, right, where you want to couch him, all right, maybe you didn't necessarily do this, but
you definitely did. And that's the thing, is that the longer they continue to not take this seriously, and the longer they continue to act like it was just one day in January, heavy air quotes, that's what they like to say, and that it wasn't a direct threat to the concept of the Republic, the longer they are, or the more likely they are to be destroyed by this own thing. Because the more wild and crazy the conspiracy gets, the more required to adhere to it they are, and eventually it's going to crack under its own weight, and they're going to be left there as the one in charge. It is very striking to me, not only were these people chanting to hang Mike Pence, but when they found Ted Cruz's notes, they were within seconds of deciding that he had turned on them. And he continues to be out there saying that everything was fine. But had he actually been within an arm's reach of any of those people who found his stuff, his sniveling ass would have been killed. And his Astros jersey too, which says a lot about him. It is. Y'all gotta understand. I know folks
they
probably listen to this show, but I'm telling you,
if anybody,
y'all better watch your ass.
The 5 people who listen to this religiously, they're probably tired of us of beating this dead horse.
I don't think so.
This to me, going through financial crisis, going through 9/11 in this area, you sprinkle in anthrax and a sniper. The Capitol riot that's the one for me.
That's far scarier to me than anything of the other stuff.
And I know people will lean on 9/11.
No.
There's no way. I think the scariest part of 9/11 for me is the Patriot Act. But that waking up and seeing that on January 6th, and that's why we're going to continue to talk about it. And
it's all part and parcel of this thing that we're watching this group of people, and I'm not exactly sure how many of them there are, but it's in the tens of millions who are actively working to separate themselves from society. Whether it's
at least 25% of the country.
Yeah, it's whether they're willing to not keep their job because they won't follow through with basic things like getting a vaccine or wearing a mask,
or testing, or even getting tested. Let's start with that.
Or whether they're threatening school boards for doing things like basically trying to keep children safe. Whether they are actively stockpiling weapons and threatening federal officials. These people are are growing in the boundaries that they are pushing, and they continue to push the boundaries, and they continue to get away with it. But there is going to be a limit, and we have been through this in this country before, where these people have tried to separate themselves from this country, and it didn't go well for them.
It can't be that, and it did not. And it didn't go well then. It really won't go well.
Can you imagine Antietam with automatic weapons? I mean, God willing.
Hey. I hope it doesn't get to that.
I would be happy to lend my assistance to helping the Confederacy set up a whole nother country.
Oh, God. Where are you going with this?
Somewhere in the Northern Marianas. Way the fuck away from all the rest of us. They can do whatever they want in the middle of the South Pacific. They can be as racist as they want. They can be isolated from everybody else. There's nobody there. They can make the great white sharks, the emblem of it, but not the black tip reef sharks because,
Yeah, right,
whatever. Like they can have, if they'll leave. But they're an existential threat to the rest of us.
Yes, I just think this is every week I see that the common thread that weaves through all of this is just this disinformation thread, and it's
not just disinformation.
But I feel like it is like some of this stuff. I feel like there are like folks who have always been on this, regardless. But I feel like there might have been people who are on the edge of it, and I've talked to people because you hear like the things that they're worried about, and you realize like, oh, you've been got by.
But they're legit worried. They think it's real. I mean, they're very real. They're not.
Your point is the folks who know that the shit is a farce and
are continuing to throw gas on that fire. Right. And we know about that, and we've seen it, and it keeps happening in this way where. Ted Cruz absolutely knows better, and he's doing it anyway. Rubio knows better, and he's doing it anyway.
Oh, these are smart people.
Grassley knows better, and he's doing it anyway.
Grassley might be the one that is...
because he was alive for the first Civil War. Like, these guys absolutely know what's going on, and they're doing it anyway. And what is the end goal that they're after? This is a question that has plagued me for, like, my whole life. What level of government will you selfish, individualist assholes accept? If you think that the federal government shouldn't be telling the states what to do, fine, then we'll have the states do it. If you think that Richmond doesn't know shit about what goes on in Fairfax, then fine, we'll let Fairfax decide. Well, if you think that the people in Centerville don't know shit about what's going on in Springfield, then maybe it should be down to the zip code level. What level of government will you accept as legitimate? And eventually it gets down to this sovereign citizen individualist bullshit. Anarchy. Yeah. And it's just like idiots with guns shooting everybody all the fucking time. Which, again, we had that and decided to have a country instead.
There's a... oh, God. Christ.
Don't trigger us, Brian.
Hey, God. Yo, exactly. We're live.
The neighborhood's
We're live.
It's Greenbelt, baby.
This country is obviously looking for... minority rule. That's what that is.
Yeah, simple. But to what end? They get that, and then what? Then they break into those factions.
No. It'll eat. That's going to be very crazy. It'll eat itself. You'll watch it eat itself.
You watch it.
You're going to watch
it start to divide amongst themselves into various factions of different kinds of white.
I mean, I watched over.
These people can't handle
2020.
themselves.
I watched them. I watched white folks beat other white folks. I hadn't seen that never before.
Did you see that fight in the Panthers? Vikings game went on for like 10, 15 minutes. Nobody broke it up. They're all just filming this shit, watching old white people like flail at each other. It was so pathetic. I was like, man, this old guy, but he kept getting up.
Hey,
he got his ass whooped like multiple times, but he got back up.
We're headed
like Captain America.
We're headed to more violence.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't want to be the one.
You want to see the guy who's committing the violence? Brian, throw it up on the graphic.
Hey.
This is not who you expected to be one of the Capitol rioters.
No.
But there he is. Daryl Neely.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Ah, shit.
Damn it, yeah. Damn.
Hey.
You big dummy.
Yep.
That's a perfect sound for it.
Speaking of which, he then stole a bunch of shit from the Capitol, posted pictures of him with the stolen shit, and told all his friends about it. And now he's going to jail. He also runs an online conservative radio station called Global Enlightenment Radio. I bet they'd love to air Chip Chat.
Hey.
What's their ratings like?
We too are. What's the new thing? We too are free thinkers.
That's right. Hey, I don't know how long he's been doing fake radio, but we've been doing it for quite a while. We want welcome him to the group,
hey,
Daryl.
Well, we can give your listeners the opposite of everything else that you're doing.
We should get him on the show because he knows how to radio, theoretically. He's been to Washington at least once, so he knows how to get here. That would be good. And he looks like he belongs on this station. Looks like. I don't know if he sounds like.
Yeah.
But he looks like he belongs here.
Our Trump would not approve.
I don't know.
Maybe,
he does like chaos.
He does like chaos too, though.
He likes to throw gas on fires. I like my favorite line in this was the FBI first became aware of Neely's activities at the Capitol on January 9th when investigators received a tip from someone claiming Neely had entered the building. Agents soon identified him through video footage that showed him in the Capitol while appearing, quote, to be holding a marijuana cigarette, court documents state. He also was also captured leaving the building while holding a cell phone. Marijuana cigarette? The FBI doesn't know the word joint?
Yeah.
I mean, what are we talking about here?
Like Neely, man, look, I every now and then partake in those as well.
Hey,
but look here.
That ain't the thing.
That's not the thing. And also, too, I don't think anybody that you went there, the policy side of it, I don't know if they really support that, for what you're doing.
I don't know. A lot of those guys, they get high, too.
No, they do. I just don't think they support the policy behind it.
No, I think they think it's okay for them
to do it. Exactly. There you go.
But he's one of you.
He is.
This is the sort of, kind of,
he is. I'm
going to own it. To the rest of the rioters, he looks like you.
Yes.
In the same way that Ben Carson could do as much shucking and jiving as he wanted to and would still end up being, when he's not in the room, referred to by various words.
And, obviously, to run, if you have a conservative radio show that you do, you feel that you have been somehow accepted into this.
Yeah.
I don't know what they sold you. But
40 acres and a mule.
Oh, all right. Be careful, because I don't know what they sold you. Next thing they'll be doing is trying to sell you.
Up, down, Potomac River, whichever one.
It's happened before?
Yeah, we've seen it before.
Look, I don't know. I don't know what happens, because to the point of the government and the anarchy piece, I don't know. We got a couple of things on the Bill of Rights.
Can we be sure?
I hope all of that is good to go. But also too, get ready for that one. You thought the first one,
that 13th Amendment is gone.
Well, here's the thing. You thought the first album was crazy. Wait till the second album. We'll have some.
Yeah.
All you allies might be going to houses.
Right.
Yeah, because that's one thing that's not about to happen. I wish. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a tattoo. Ally right on my forehead.
Across the forehead.
Yeah. One of the good ones. Right. Born in the district. That's what I'm gonna get right on my
there
forehead.
You go.
Yeah. The district.
We'll invite you to not Washington.
No. The district. Okay. Good.
Damn,
be afraid
Neely.
of white terrorism. It's real. America is full of it. It's dangerous. Don't go near it. And if you do see it, call somebody, but not the cops, because they're doing it too. Call us. We'll talk about it. Or Maddow, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
About the same.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking to Rachel Maddow. No, I'm sorry. Our guests are in the building. We're going to have a really good time talking to them. You're listening to Chip Chat here on RIP Radio Network.
Sweeps!
Please, bro was on. Didn't trip, but the folks was freaking, man. Hey, some blood hammering out and damn, Jim, shit. Tighten that bad sucker side to run me like a mother. Shit.
Chip Chat here on Rip Radio Network. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Taz.
Yo, what's poppin'?
Okay, that was an experience.
It was.
It was a sonic experience, an ephemeral visit to another world, produced by, created by, assembled by, mechanically entered into a digital format, and then piped directly into your ears by Kount Fif.
Hey,
One of our guests tonight.
one of our guests.
He's
What's
a
poppin'?
poly-something. He's a rapper, producer, DJ, collector, business genius, and dad, amongst other things. There's a lot of
I
things.
wear many hats.
A lot of hats.
I'm a jack of all trades, but a master of all trades.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go.
You got a journeyman? Just a master's. Okay. That's a trade joke.
I get it. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Air conditioning
Hello.
joke. Okay. So
Cool.
yeah. Oh, it's cool. Air conditioning joke was cool.
Cool. Slick.
I hate our show. All right. Also with us tonight, Empuls is here. He's an accomplished producer and creator in his own right. And both of them join us here with new music, which we've been playing all night. Welcome y'all to Chip Chat.
What is poppin'?
There are many
There's
cameras.
cameras.
You can look at whatever.
Yeah.
It's a radio show.
Yeah, no one.
Cameras don't matter.
That's true.
Talk into the mic though.
Y'all
'cause that
got
does
the
matter.
most important cameras.
Right.
Yeah, you
guys know how to talk into microphones, right? You do that before?
Y'all got the most important cameras.
You've been on the show a bunch of times.
I have.
We taught you how to use a mic.
No.
No.
I thought so.
I taught myself. I teach other people how to use
You
it.
do. There you go.
I should have added
Live
that to
and
the
in the
list.
studio.
Hey,
He's a
Real
he's a
talk.
poly something.
Poly something.
There you go.
I'm a everything. That's my name. I'm the Count. Well, the universal man. I'm the universal supreme being.
Okay, well,
The king.
We're going way out there.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
there we go.
Do we
name
have to
comes
believe
from.
in you, or do you?
Do we have to believe
No,
in
if we
you?
stop believing him, does he stop existing, like
Not at
Tinkerbell
all.
or something like that? No. So you're good.
Oh yeah.
All right.
That's what I
No,
told
I'm
you.
worried about that. I don't want.
We're in the flesh.
Okay,
Tell
well,
him.
I know
Human
you're
just like
real.
you.
Yes, but also a supreme being
Very much.
like me. Okay.
You don't see what he's saying.
There's
Yeah,
a God in
exactly.
you.
That's what he's trying to tell you.
There's a God in you.
He's trying to tell you that you're a supreme being as
I'm
well.
not that
you
smart.
Ain't even, you ain't even get what he put in there.
No, I'm not.
At all, you know?
The God in me, pardon me.
The God in me, pardon you.
Hey.
Okay, there you go. I'm whatever. All right, so
great start, everybody.
we've been playing all your new stuff. We played some of it last week as well, and then we're playing it this week during the show. So this new project, what's the motivation behind this new project?
Oh man, just I wanna reach into the inner soul. I wanna align chakras. I wanna entertain. I
you
want
fix
to.
my back?
What's the name of the
I'm
project?
not a chiropractor.
What's the name of the
Right.
project? B.
Well, you know,
Fifth.
it's called Soul Chakra. First
Thank
of
There
all,
you go.
the project is called Soul Chakra. It's an instrumental experience.
Is this your first instrumental record?
It is.
Because you're a beat maker, right?
I am.
by trade.
By trade. Well, I'm more of just a beat maker.
Well,
but-
no, we know you're a poly something, but like, what?
Right.
What-
Right, exactly.
Right.
Your real claim to fame in the world of hip hop, what you've done for Nas, what you've done for Wu-Tang, what you've
Yeah.
done for these guys is make beats, right?
Right.
And then produce.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But
You're not
somehow
wrong.
you have never done.
An instrumental project. Nah,
That's-
Wow.
I know.
I mean-
it's a big deal.
It is.
It's a huge deal because there's a lot coming with this project. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a lot coming with this. You're gonna get extra goodies.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about how you're going to distribute this.
It's
'cause-
physical. It's
okay,
digital.
Yeah, we got to get the physical.
And you're gonna get some extra goodies. That's all I'm gonna say
in
at the
the in
moment.
the in the physical.
There's
kit?
there's
I
a
mean,
there's
the
a
kit.
physical package.
Okay.
You can get the project on digitally on Bandcamp. It's only going to be available on Bandcamp.
Right.
Dope.
No,
That's it,
we are
bro.
a big Bandcamp
We're
supporter.
only
We
available on
want to
Bandcamp.
support real artists.
We're not putting it on the streaming sites. We're not
No.
taking no shorts.
Buy records.
This is art. They pay millions and hundreds of $1,000s for invisible art and things that are absurd. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
This is
attacking
real
NFTs.
music.
You're attacking
I'm not attacking anyone as far as art form goes because I respect all art. Art is a part of our music. We have to have album covers.
Sure.
All of that. I respect art all the way across the board. But music is why do we get $1 a song?
No.
Why are we treated like our art form?
get a
We're
whole
like
dollar.
Bob Marley artists when cats move mountains with their music. There's no reason for us to be taking shorts on our art. So it's an unappreciated value.
Movements usually have a theme song.
Yeah, for
I was gonna say for folks who are making other types of art, it's usually music that they're creating with.
Exactly.
The real thing is when
music inspires art.
when bad guys get in charge of things, what's the first thing they ban? It's music.
The music, yeah.
Right? The Iran, they ban music, right?
Yeah.
Taliban
Saudi Arabia
bans music.
They ban music.
Music is somehow threatening.
Yes, my
it's
question,
threatening.
My
Yes,
question isn't even on
absolutely.
there, but you're trying to answer it.
Oh, well, I'm getting to it.
You're
Hold
getting,
on, take
it's
it
not
easy.
even on there. You're like, because I never put
go.
them.
All right, so at least a few of these songs that we've gotten that you sent us, we played one of them earlier from you, Empuls, and we've been listening to them over the course of the week, have heavily featured stuff about the end of the pandemic and trying to get it over with and sort of general frustration. It seems like, it's fits well with our show, sort of fury at the very obvious people who deserve the fury. So do you get frustrated with people who aren't taking this seriously?
Well, you talking about the Hypocrites song?
Specifically that song.
All right, so funny, I never thought I'd get to tell the story. I wrote that song before lockdown.
Right.
Okay.
But it still has Trump in it, still has all this.
No, but
clips.
I don't know. Yeah, so, but again, I wrote that before anything happened.
Okay.
As a prediction, the song was supposed to drop before it happened, so I could sit back and say I told you so and laugh at everybody.
But then COVID happened and it didn't get released.
Yeah, until later. And then everybody thought I was talking about what's happening, like, as an observation. I was
So
like,
what are you talking about?
and I was like, no, I wrote this song before this happened because I'm a student of history, and my friends will tell you, if you watch my podcast, any of that stuff, I've literally been predicting all this stuff for years. Like, I couldn't be any less impressed by any of that stuff. Like the
So you predicted the rise of Trump.
I mean, I literally talked about the insurgency before it happened.
Okay.
On that record. So.
I mean, like what the white supremacists taking power. They didn't.
That's not taking power. That's not taking power.
Well, maintaining power, I should say.
But I mean, as far as like them showing up at the Capitol, that was cute. Definitely should be processed for trespassing or whatever laws they broke. From the footage I saw, there were no visible weapons. The only life.
Well, they captured a number of guns.
But again, from the footage, I think that would have gone viral if somebody had rolled in there with one of the guns.
Oh no,
you know what I mean?
It could have got worse.
So with that being said, they trespass, lock them all up for whatever is federal property. I've committed crimes on federal property. I know they don't play around. So lock them up for that, and then, but don't be surprised, like that chickens came home to roost. Like they got to go in and do something. There's no way I'd get away with doing so. And that's all I'm 40 now. So for 31 years I've been saying it. To me, it's kind of played out.
We've been saying it.
Yeah, like this is. I got whole albums about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like
shit's been going on for hundreds of years.
Yeah, I mean So with that being said, so that whole project was constructed before. It was cool to BLM march and all that. You know what I mean? Right. So to me, it's like by the time the project came out, you can tell Fif, I only released it because I was so proud of it. I already didn't want to talk about it because it looked like I was watching everyone else and making observations. No, these were all predictions that literally came true. I didn't change one bar. I can play you the references from this November and December of the year before,
right?
And January, and then everything happened, and then I re-recorded the exact bars. So I wasn't impressed at all.
Do you worry that there's something worse coming? I mean, since you're clairvoyant, apparently. I mean, do you worry about that?
Of course.
I mean, why wouldn't?
It's real.
I don't know why anybody would expect any different. You know what I mean? Like, well,
yeah, and you say you student history, so is it even worse, or is it like different renditions?
That's what I'm saying. We're only saying worse. We're not only saying worse because it hadn't happened to us.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point right there.
That's the perception.
There it is.
Right now, in the middle of starting jury selection in coastal Georgia for a case where 3 white guys lynched a guy for jogging.
Yeah.
And this is a very obvious case of what happened.
Yes.
It's on video.
It's not new.
And we're still not sure that justice will be served.
Look, I did a song about lynching on a record like 2 years ago. Like I said, none of this.
We've been talking about it. We've been talking about this before.
I've been, you know what I mean? Like not
10 years ago.
So it's like, just to jump in, because this is kind of where my question was around it, and I could be off base, but basically,
I mean, I could feign surprise for you guys.
Well, no, I don't want that at all. But like, I guess listening to the music that I was sent, it almost sounds like in it, whether it's sonically with the beats or the lyrics, that it's like a cry kind of for folks to wake up a little bit in a sense.
Absolutely.
Like, so I guess, where do you see music and like art in general when it comes to like revolution? And I mean that kind of in the broader sense.
They used to play drums on the battlefield, and
right.
Like there's a whole fighting style
So
where
is there going to be an Impulse song that is like the anthem of the anti-apartheid American resistance?
Nah, I don't think exactly.
It's not because it's not gonna and it's not gonna be some like. Just like they couldn't overtake the country by storming one building, it's not like we're gonna go shoot one person tomorrow, and it's like, yo, everything changed. Like it's a
whole mindset that's gonna.
Well, it's like basic psychology, and I don't have a degree, would dictate that any pattern. I think it takes at least 75% of the time a pattern exists for the pattern to not exist. But before that pattern cannot exist, it has to be acknowledged, processed. Like the whole something hasn't even happened yet has to happen before the process even starts. Like, nah, man, none of us gonna see nothing like that in our lifetime. Right. There's gonna be some more damage in a bunch of different places. Like, come on, man. Yeah. Like, how old are y'all? Like, not even like, and I don't. No, I just mean to anybody anyone that's surprised. Yeah. Like, I assume someone else is listening. So if like anyone's surprised that I'm not. Then, like I said, I got 15-year-old songs talking about this stuff and how it's not going to change.
So one of the things that you might,
you know what I mean, like, and again, I don't mean to sound so passé. Like I said, I could try and get excited about it, but it's like, you know, it's something that people actually, everything that's happening right now, people used to get annoyed that I would talk about it. Like I would try and have a casual conversation about it, right? And nobody wanted, right? So peep. So then all this stuff happens. We're not allowed to go anywhere. Okay, not allowed to go anywhere. All of a sudden, though, we can march for like peaceful marches. Don't tell me what the march is about. Just tell me where it's at. I need to get out of the house. Now it's a movement. Right. No, it's not. It's an excuse to get out of the house. Right. As soon as we were allowed out of the house, well, how many marches have we had about anything?
Yeah, and someone subscribed this right to cynicism, and I have the same type of cynicism.
No, I'm not a cynic.
But I'm not. Those who can argue those things.
I just don't like to mince words. Like I'm not a cynic.
The thing that you got to know is that I don't know why this is the case, but it is the case. Is that for the first time in my memory, the white people who know better are shocked. Because the white people who knew better before had faith. They believed that the institutions would work. They believed in the story they had been told about this country. They believed in all of these things in a way that they were like, nah, that can't possibly happen. There's too many checks and balances. There's too many things that can stop that from happening. And then for the first time in a long time, they actually couldn't not see it. It's not that they could see it, it's that they couldn't not see it. And they started to go, these institutions that we cling to aren't quite as strong as we think. The fairness is not where we think it is. And to watch them shake that out through the system was very, very disconcerting. They were not capable of and the black folks watched them all and were like, yeah, man. This is how it's been for us all the time. White folks are like, I can't believe my country let me down like that. And the black folks are like, listen, buddy, you got a few hundred years to catch up to us.
Well, I know as a black person, that's not no. My white friends. That's why they were my white friends. If anybody shocked by this was not in my friends list before this. So what I'm saying, yeah. So I actually, again, the white. I'm shocked that this is happening. That whole demographic, if they're still shocked and they're still upset about it, then I'm glad they were shocked.
Right. No,
You know what I mean? But like I said, like my people, like my people were already. I'm sure. I'm not even checking the comments because I'm pretty sure I have multiple white friends right now that are literally saying things like, "I never trusted the government." I know one of the dudes in the chat right now. He's probably said, "Nope, never trusted the government." So that's my white friends.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like what I'm saying is, that's not the majority of the white white America.
But with that being said, I don't think like my song didn't focus on a color though. I didn't like not to delineate, but if I remember correctly, this started about a track that I did. And I said that this, like I'm not surprised by none of this, and I don't think it was a demographic, but it wasn't a specific color.
Race or
like
color.
I don't like I when I was
more than anybody who don't have their eyes
had a
open.
story about a black guy who's helping to march for white supremacy. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't exist. Of course they exist.
Right on.
But I just didn't want to focus necessarily or delineate specifically to race relations. Because I have plenty of songs. Now, if we were to talk about one of those songs, absolutely. But that project has nothing to do with race relations.
Sure. Well, we meant to talk about the pandemic, and then it turns out you predicted all the things. So.
Well, I didn't predict the actual sickness, but then people's responses and all that, just to confinement. It's basic to me. It's basic anthropology, like sociology. You know what I mean? You confine a bunch of people that are not hunter gatherers or even hunters in any remote sense of the word. You take a bunch of consumers that have been their whole life's constructed about an imaginary 40-hour week, and then you remove all of that. Their kids are now, if they have kids, are now at home. They've not educated their own children. Their brains aren't sharp. Like
they don't know how to farm.
And mind you, I've been preaching self-sufficiency
all of that,
to all my friends. Again, it was annoying to them. I did it so much. I have songs about it.
That's cool.
So now it's like it's kind of a trip. You know what I mean?
Garden?
Actually just moved, so I gotta till everything. But
I'm still like mine's still going. Like, and I moved some stuff into the greenhouse, to get ready for the winter.
There you go.
But I mean, it's one of those things.
I focused on microgreens for the longest time lately, because it's just how much nutrients you can get in each individual sprout.
Well, and they grow fast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can have like a sea of green, and you can have like a sea of green going. You know what I mean? So
that's also nice. Good for the air. All the way around.
See, there you go.
All right, good. Get out there and farm stuff. All right, so Count, you've been working on your instrumental stuff.
Yes.
Right, including some samples of a recent live show.
Can you
tell us about what happened there?
Yeah, man. I was just inspired, man. The dude is talented. He's he's a Instagram famous dude.
Wears a robe.
Up. Yeah, wears a robe.
Not much else.
Yeah, not much else. He's goofy and he doesn't give a F, you know what I mean? Like he's
you can curse. You can say it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hangs out with Premier and
then Erykah Badu. You know what I mean? Like people recognize this dude. He's a genius. He's talented. I went to a show. I got invited to a show. My man Brandon represent.
Say his name if you want.
Oh, Mark Rabillier. Yeah. Or Rabillier, however you pronounce his last name. But
Rigolet, maybe.
However you want to, I guess. It's like say Talib, whatever, But yeah, I mean, it was an incredible live show, and I got inspired by some of the live footage and decided to sample it and make a beat out of the live footage. And my boys going like woo in the background and everything, but I wanted to include all of it. It's like the Jackson 5.
Get all of it.
It's just a live. It's like a live beat.
This guy is like,
you know what I mean?
People who have
this
never
is what
seen
he
this.
does. He's a loop daddy. He's a one-man band. He loops himself,
doing this
singing,
crazy
making beats,
shit, like all and it's all
in 1 minute.
And they're never the same.
No,
it's nothing the same.
He sings his ass off, and it's
nothing's
funny.
recorded.
And no, everything is all freestyle.
Yeah, and you flipped it though.
And I flipped it. On some same
that's
shit.
The important part. This dude sound cool.
Yeah, no. Hey,
but he ain't
flipped. But he ain't flipped.
But you flipped him. So
I flipped it.
That's what made him important in my life.
You know what I'm saying?
The only reason that guy exists in my life is because my man flipped a live show. I don't even know y'all talking about.
See, he don't know. He's not.
I literally don't know who you're talking about.
Under a rock or what?
Yes,
I literally have no idea who y'all talking about.
He said absolutely.
But I know that.
I know he said absolutely. Farming microgreens under a rock.
No, I purposefully. You can ask him for the longest time. I purposely avoid as much pop culture as possible.
I'm anything he needs to know.
Pop culture though. It's very
social
off
media.
the mainstream, though.
No, what I'm saying is, how do y'all know about him? How do you know about him?
6,000 people sold out show.
I know it is
in
now,
DC.
but I mean, it
sold
No,
out
here's what I'm
tours.
saying. How did he blow up? On the
Instagram,
internet, right?
internet. That's-
Where I'm not at. So
Right.
there you go. Like, to me, that's pop culture. Like,
Oh, don't tell him this show's on the internet.
no,
No,
and
It's
I'm not
saying
shitting on
everything
anybody for even
technically
watching this.
online is
What
pop culture. That's
what
a
I'm
little
saying is,
literal
I
in what you're
don't.
saying.
No.
We obviously know that social media is influencing.
Again, to me, pop culture in its general form, popular
culture. What is social
I'm being
media?
literal.
Popular
culture.
It
If it
is.
doesn't
It's-
involve me, I don't know really anything about it. If my friends aren't involved,
That's real
Like,
with him.
I do. Like, as a matter of fact, I ended up on the show because I was goofing off with you. I thought I was just being a smartass, right? Dustin's like, hey, I've got a show coming up. Or I saw the exchange, right? I had no idea what it's about. I jumped in and said, well, if he can't make it, I can, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Right? Right? And then you were like, oh, well, you can come too. And I was like, oh, he must know that we know each other. Like, I just assumed all this, right? Then when I realized you didn't, I was like, oh, this is going to be a trip.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude,
we got 20 plus years.
Yeah,
of,
like, for
of-
real, like,
of
I've been-
history.
Yeah, we only got 5.
I know. So
I was like, so this is going to be one of the easier ones for me because usually what happens is I show up, they go, oh, Beyonce did this.
Oh no!
Right? No, I'm being referential, right?
So something.
Then I sit there and I just scan the room. I just kind of, and I'm like, they can't be talking to me because I don't know what the fuck I don't know what they're talking about. And then to realize, oh, everyone thinks I'm being antisocial because no one knows I don't give a fuck about what Beyonce's doing because that doesn't feed my kids or it doesn't feed his children.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
What is Sonny from Bronx
fair,
say?
what Beyonce does feed my kids because she and I have this contract, but that's a separate whole
Word
separate
up.
thing.
And like, there's a couple like
What are we
bloggers I
doing right
watch
now?
and stuff like that.
we
But like
tried
I
to
said,
cross
man,
that.
I'm
Are you flying to Vegas? It's good.
Hey,
yeah. So
Shit.
So like I said, like so it'll
Beyonce?
it usually, like I said, it differentiates me from conversation because I won't know what anybody's talking about. Like I know who y'all were talking about because Dustin said I flipped this guy's stuff, so I went and looked the guy up
after he.
And I was like, so think about that. This guy he went to go see and he's really popular and talented, which I agree. But he went to go see him. The only reason I know he exists, which wasn't a bar.
Have you heard of Mos Def?
But that's because your man stamped
because my man played it.
No, I don't think it's a bad way.
No, and it's not a bad way. No, it's not a bad way. I'm not a bad way. But here's what I'm saying. He got if he had never done that,
you would never know.
But
if you never knew, it wouldn't affect your life. Like you said in the beginning, your life would have continued on. It wouldn't have messed with your life. And it's not helping you. It's not helping you, so why should I go search for it?
And well, you can't know everything in life.
I'm with you.
You can't know about everything going on in a parallel universe.
Look, when I was younger, I used to buy every one of favorite record. I used to listen to everything. I was the dude everybody came to borrow stuff.
Right.
And then after I started recording more and more and creating more, I was like, I don't like this stuff doesn't excite me anymore. Like the older I got, it would be like it's something.
The more eccentric we get,
and to me, it reaches a point to where it's like this doesn't do it for me anymore. I don't dislike it. I don't even have it. Whatever.
Yeah, right.
Like, this just doesn't do it for me no more.
We're moving on, and we're not thinking about.
And then, like I said, the more I create, the less I listen to of other people.
I got a question. Just that kind of based on what you just said there. For both, whether it's making beats, whether it's writing, what gets y'all in a good emotional space to do that, right? Because they're like, right, you just sometimes you might just not be there with it. What's the good space for y'all to create in?
What motivates?
Every day motivates me. I work every day on something, music, something related to my goal. I'm pushing all the time. It's an everlasting fire burning within inside.
Right.
It never dies.
I think that's the thing about a lot of like the people
bars,
create
bro.
people go like, why is this guy still making records? Like
because I woke up and I wanted to create.
I have integrity.
I'm like,
I
you can't turn it off.
I can't turn it off.
Yeah.
That's what people don't understand. I wake up with songs in my head. I don't know how they get there. I wake up with.
But you gotta write them down, or it kills you.
Oh, regardless, whatever it is, it's and like I said, it's just always burning. It'll never die.
Like that. That's his,
It'll never die. I won't
shut up.
ever stop this until I reach what I feel, where I feel I need to be.
He still ain't gonna stop, though. You gonna wake up. You
even
always,
if I don't, exactly.
You still gonna do. I'm gonna say you said when you get to there, you ain't gonna stop.
Oh, but I'm gonna get there.
I know that, but you ain't when you get
but
there.
If your mind still
even
works,
if I'm 50,
the things are still even if you're 50.
But when you get there, when the next thing
I'm KRS-One, going out on stage with Big Daddy Kane, showing and proving.
50, buddy.
He's older than that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Hey, I'm just saying that's
years ago.
I'm not 40 yet, so I'm just saying 10 years from
there.
Right, but come on, man, because that's what he said, and I'm still number one, and whatever.
When it's pouring out
20
of you,
years, 30
you'll
years.
find some way to transcribe it.
Absolutely,
and you just can't turn it off.
I can't turn it off. I get motivated by coming home and getting time to work on music or whatever if I have that time to do it. I'm blessed with that time to do it.
Speaking of coming home, how's the record store?
The record store is doing great, man. I haven't been there too much. I got a lot of things going on, but I'm there when I can be, and they're doing fantastic. Records and Rarities, Springfield Mall, they're doing fantastic.
I wanted to mention it because everybody's worried about the supply chain right now.
Yeah, the vinyl supply chain
for the Christmas and all that stuff.
It's beautiful.
And I'm like, you know where you can get it?
Records and Rarities.
Records and Rarities.
Record stores.
It's local. It's physical.
Stop buying vinyl online.
That's dumb.
Go buy vinyl from record stores. Record stores. Buy vinyl from not Walmart.
As a dude who worked at a record store,
why y'all giving people? Why y'all sending Amazon and Walmart money for vinyl? Fuck out of here.
That's ridiculous.
Man. Go to a record store. This was about getting in your car, driving to the place, getting the experience of that. Whether it was a CD, a tape, whatever the era you came out in.
That's when music came out on Tuesdays.
And
now we on
Friday.
Now we on Friday.
And if you're on a time crunch, if you're on a time crunch from having run one of the stores, they're not opposed to setting something aside for you if you want to call and pick it up.
Service.
Oh wow! See, that is a hope where someone would hit because
that's the hookup. That's the homie hookup. We gave you the homie hookup.
It depends how
you put it in the brown bag. You set
I got customers.
Yeah,
you show your loyalty, you get taken care of.
I'm still on the waiting list for Chuck D. I mean, not Chuck D, but the Chuck Brown joint. My joint got scratched. So I need.
He's still waiting for one.
Now I need another. If anybody out there is listening to this, I need another copy of It Don't Mean a Thing, the live joint, the 15-minute version, because my joint got scratched.
I think I have a bootleg copy of that.
Nah, my joint got scratched. My joint got. No, I want the record.
You want the original record?
I want the actual record. I got the tape and the CD and all that, but the record.
I want the vinyl.
Yeah, man, I was fucking dancing and I scratched the record. That was my last copy. I had 3 of them. I'm down to my last one, man. If y'all really appreciate me. Oh shit! Did you guys hear that accident outside? Seriously.
The point is,
was that on there?
Give me the sound of that one and that response to it.
Florida or not.
That's recorded.
Yo, I thought somebody got body, bro.
The rest of the show now.
I thought somebody got body, bro.
He sound bite.
He said, yo.
You just gave him a sound bite.
Cut it up and have it in the can.
I thought somebody got body, bro.
All right, so
yo, because he was like, I respect the concern. He's like, fuck all this shit. You heard that shit outside?
Yeah.
Well, because I thought somebody bodied up, then whatever the fuck we talking about don't really matter. Somebody out there dying and shit.
We just became on the scene reporters.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Somebody out there dying. I don't fuck when I started rapping.
McDonald's in the motherfucker.
This just in.
I thought I saw it. I was like, yo, y'all finish this shit, man.
And you can hear it all the way up here.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
In stereo. All right, so
I have to pull the blammy
out. So go buy records from local record stores.
Go buy records from.
There's no supply chain problem over there.
I mean, look, man. If that's a supply chain problem, might be for artists that want to get their albums pressed on vinyl.
Sure, that's a very big problem. Actually, there's like people waiting years to get stuff.
Well,
pressed.
It's like a 10-month.
Some of them probably should have to wait anyway because it ain't no good. No way.
I was gonna say some of y'all are wasting vinyl.
Shout out to Furnace Records. They're a local press.
They are.
That's what I'm saying. If you're really trying to get it pressed, it's pressed.
My problem is
if you waiting on the same chain everybody else waiting on, then it probably wasn't no good. No way. Drop it on SoundCloud like you should have done in the first place.
Hey,
Speaking
of SoundCloud,
You're not no fucking good.
we got to hit a break. Where can everybody follow you on your SoundCloud?
I don't.
And you know that.
Instagram.
Why you even coming in like that with that
So
shit?
I can't remember the last time
because we got to hit a break. Give everybody your socials and stuff so they can, buy your records.
Instagram at Kount Fif. That's KOUNTFIF. Soul Chakra coming this month. Got the numero un coming soon. That's vinyl release. That's the album.
There we go.
We want a copy. All right. Where?
Impulse, EMPULS. Just type it in on all of them. It's the same on all of them.
Yep.
Google it. It's the same on all of them.
Same on all of them. Kount Fif. KOUNTFIF.
Nice and easy.
EMPULS.
Preferably Bandcamp because I get that money
That's
directly.
right. Especially
and,
on
a lot
Fridays.
quicker.
Bandcamp Fridays. Shout out to Bandcamp for doing
all
that
your
for the
artists on
artists.
Bandcamp.
Definitely
They
bought
give
your record
the
on
artists
Thank
100%.
you. I appreciate that.
That's what's up.
I'll be buying my daughter gluten-free pizza with that.
You know what I'm
shit.
saying?
There you go.
Real talk.
There you can see.
Buying my joints.
Feeding our babies with
Buying
this.
my joints. Feed my
Help
kids.
us
to ride.
feed. Yeah.
What we're gonna do is take a break and get these guys
Are we
set
coming
up for
back
their,
from
their
the
next versus battle, and then
Word up.
so because
That's
they
how
got
we
joints,
do.
you know.
We got
All right,
joints, baby.
And then when we come back, we'll hit the third half of the show. You're listening to Chip Chat on RIP Radio Network.
Sweeps.
Soul Chakras.
What did groovy mean then? Because it's still in the
Well, it's the same thing. It's a beat that you get in a groove, a swing beat. You're right in the groove, man. You can't move. You're right there. You stay right there. Right on. I'll be on my way.
Bye-bye.
Fuck you. I thought this tape was gonna be a fucking conversation stimulator, man.
To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency. Two very big words. Very important, and this disease
Feeling for skeptic works my ethics, but deservedly it's worth the ethics. Spit a hair so the turtles catch it. Think I'm bluffing, make me bust a biscuit, crack an egg and drink a bacon's dozen. Take your cousin to the family tree and hang them. Drown them in the gene pool. Rather imbalanced, but I seem cool. Stay distant, so they made a social mandate. I made your nan wait, then I praised her like a lampshade. Rotten in a box instead he's stinking up the shelf. And I tell them I'm the best until they think it for themselves. Motherfuckers. And analysts don't understand the metric, it's electric. They can replicate the move but can't perfect it. It's pathetic, so cathartic when the target starts to beg and gotta live beyond measure if you wanna be a legend. Analysts don't understand the metric, it's electric as they replicate the move but can't perfect it. It's pathetic, so cathartic when the target starts to beg and gotta live beyond measure if you wanna be a legend. Analysts don't understand the metric, it's electric as they replicate the move but can't perfect it. It's pathetic, so cathartic when a target starts to beg and gotta live beyond measure when you wanna be a legend. Analysts don't understand the metric, it's electric as they replicate the move but can't perfect it. It's pathetic, so cathartic when a target starts to beg and gotta live beyond measure.
All right, welcome back to Chip Chat here on Rip Radio Network. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's poppin'?
And now it is time for his Tez Talk.
I know, right?
Yeah. Gotta bring the show down.
I know. I just do this like right every one of these weeks. I'm gonna have something that is
no, it's
regular.
funny because that used to be my job.
And now,
I used to have this whole rant that I was
ship
like
the shit out to me.
Yeah. Well, you're better at it than I am.
I don't know. I saw this that popped up, and it was literally that. Just I'm gonna read this part here. Nearly every person who's died of COVID-19 in DC since June was a black resident, right?
Of course,
right. And like, all right, cool, right?
And we're not as black as cities we used to be,
and we're not right. It's 40% black folks that's in here, and I would assume that most of them are east of the river. So I guess, right, the number piece, I'm sure, like, and I don't want to come at the skeptics to this, right? But, right, people will probably come being skeptical of the numbers, right? I'm sure there'll be skeptics and like, well, all right, where do you get these from? Fine, I'll take that piece of it. I guess I can look at the numbers in these other wards. I can look at how the other wards are behaving, and you can see that there's a stark difference in this. Just
how's
in general,
Mary
and let's
Chase
just take
Ward 3?
Yeah, and let's take the pandemic out of it, right? Let's just talk about just in general healthcare. Let's just talk about healthy living in the sense, right, of where people can get, whether it's groceries.
Well, University Medical Center, it's all fine now.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's okay, right?
Yeah.
Groceries, right? Things of that nature, right? Fresh produce. Those things, those things are not in those two wards, which the specific wards would be 7 and 8, right? And again, this is another stat of the 50 people who died from the virus since June, 49 again were black. 60% of those deaths occurred in those two wards. That just seems a little, right? Like, whether you believe in the numbers or not, like.
Well, first of all, the numbers are legit. And second of all, yeah, it's
someone dies and they record it.
It's not surprising because of what we already know about the racial disparity and the way that this virus has impacted the population. And it just is like a reflection of all of the things, whether it's access to healthcare or fresh food or any of that stuff. Just sort of in general, that the system isn't built for one class of people, but it is built specifically for another. They'll move mountains and get Regeneron and oxygen and stuff for people in Friendship Heights.
And again, I guess for my issue around this is, however you look at the issue, people is dead, right? They're dead. And
they are.
There's a section of the city that at a certain point, once those folks are no longer there, that's going to get redeveloped and other folks will move into that.
Oh.
So, yeah, which I've seen it before. I mean, I live in Ward 4. I've watched it, right? I mean, and again, I just think.
Don't tell Alex Jones. He'd be all over that one.
No, God. Don't know my favorite song.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. Just teeing it up for me right there.
I'll eat Mitch McConnell.
Corn on the cob. See, I love that y'all always try to make me laugh in these segments, no matter what. Y'all always try. I try to come in with some serious shit here, and Brian, y'all just play.
That was freestyle right there.
Right. I think again, I think there should be a skepticism around, right, racist institutions that have been racist since the dawn of it, right? Since the dawn of the existence of these institutions.
The 3/5 compromise.
Right, there you go. I do think, though, discernment is something that is huge, and bring all your facts together and make an educated decision. I think the educated decision is that, yeah, and look, I got my vaccine in Heck Jamal, man. Yeah. I got it from Safeway, right? I got it in the back of the Safeway. Like I'm saying, like, and I did that early in March, right, just to make sure. Like, if I drop dead, then maybe I could throw my rally. Like, y'all throw me up on a flag and wave that shit around and be like, the shit did that shit to him.
Yeah. We would have been all over that.
I'm still here, and regardless, I just think it might keep people from dying.
77% of the deaths in D.C. are black residents, but they're only 40% of the population.
And it just doesn't seem to bode well. I mean, what it does bode for, like, statehood is definitely coming, because at a certain point, there's going to be enough white people in the city where they're going to be like, how could you disenfranchise all these good white people here?
You want it? One second. No. Yes, you can. But speaking of statehood, Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton, big fan of DC statehood, also big fan of Chip Chat.
I know, right? You can see.
Just want to fit that in there. Okay.
Impulse.
Only because I'm curious. I don't live in the district, and I'm listening to the numbers. Out of the statistics, a couple of them together can almost sound like however you want. The one I'm curious about is what's the vaccination rate out of those people?
Well, that is a good question.
Because you could say blank number of people that drive cars died. Okay, but we're ignoring all the other variables.
So right now.
So I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
I mean, I
unless I'm disparaging your point, and then I don't mean to.
I mean, challenge the point. I'm all here for the challenge the point.
I don't know if the vaccinated or the percentage of people vaccinated is heavily white versus heavily black.
I just mean overall. No, I mean literally,
it's 65%. It's somewhere in that.
The city's north of that. I think it's closer to 70-some-odd%.
One shot is somewhere around that.
So that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, like, demographically and diametrically, like, if a certain group isn't. Yeah, I mean, that's why I was just curious.
It wouldn't be the first time that the vaccine's been denied to a certain group of people, by the government. But I don't know. Here's what I know about.
What I'm saying is, I would hate for it to be a bunch of people that chose not to get it and passed, and then it looked like something it wasn't. Again, as a student of history, like, in the moment, it's very easy to connect things emotionally in the moment, and then when you look back at them later, like, these had no fucking connection at all because we didn't know a specific variable.
What we know is that's all I'm saying. Nationally, the racial disparity in the terms of the rate of vaccination, which was pretty high early on, right? White people had early access to this. They were fudging zip codes and things on the forums to get in and whatever. That's evaporated. In fact, the black and white vaccination rates are nearly identical, between 70 and 71%. Latino vaccination rates are slightly higher at 73%. So I don't think that it's currently disparate, but I think that it may have been, which could have pushed these numbers up. You could see, I'm not saying that this happened, but you could see people in wards that are not 7 and 8 using their resources to go get vaccines that may have been intended for people in wards 7 and 8. That's not outside the realm of possibility.
All I'm saying is that becomes pure, like, immediate speculation is all I'm saying.
It is speculative. Right. Of course it is
because saying 49 people died, that could be during the duration of COVID.
Well, no.
Specifically of
since
COVID.
June.
So since June of this year or last year?
This year. The 50 people who died of the virus since June.
Of this year. No. Of 2021.
2021.
Okay. Yes. Again, that sounds absolutely horrible.
50 people died, 49 of them are black. I don't think there's any negotiable aspect of that. You can check that pretty easily.
But that's not a big number, right? That's a small.
It's a small number.
Not saying that in the sense to
No, but I'm saying, all right. Let me be blunt then. As someone who doesn't usually talk about this stuff, that usually gets active, that's not enough information for me to go crack somebody's head wide open. You feel me? Like you need to verify. Like all this speculation is great, and all this stuff is makes for great TV shows and shit. But in the real life, It's not about the number. Like again, like this isn't really much to talk about. Like if we know somebody's doing something, then you go fucking do something to them about it. That's it. All this could be this. Why don't we let's start alleviating evidence and all right. I want to. How many different numbers can we attach to that one? Like for example, again, if you were to tell me I've never heard of a car before, and you tell me that out of all the people that drive them, this many people die, right? I'm gonna. If you don't tell me why, if I don't want to drive one now. Now I'm nervous, but if you say this number of them were intoxicated, this number were killed by drunk driving, like then I go, oh, with all of those variables aligned, it actually isn't that dangerous. Again, but the more
COVID is pretty dangerous. I mean,
and I'm not talking about
a lot of people.
And I'm not saying it's not. I have my vaccination as well. What I'm talking about is so with that it is dangerous. So attaching it to a number makes it emotional attachment, and now you start speculating. Again, there's no evidence. If we want to use history, we can say that it was either like smallpox blankets on purpose, or it just wasn't a good batch, because that's happened too.
I'm not saying where nobody's assigning any kind of.
I just think that we were potentially being speculatory, which negates from the lives lost. Like more importantly,
no, we're not doing that. But what we're definitely not doing is saying that there's an intention behind this. But what we are saying is there's a disparity. There's a difference here. That in a city that's 40% black, 77% of the deaths of this preventable disease
since June.
Well, no.
99%
of the deaths since June are black. If 49 out of 50, that's 98%, right? I can math. Yeah. 98% of the deaths since June of a preventable disease are of one group of people and not another.
That's preventable, the death, because the disease you could still, because folks will come
death is preventable.
The death piece of that, no, the disease, because folks will hit you with that.
Only because the vaccination doesn't put you on a ventilator.
Yeah, the vaccination doesn't guarantee you don't contract it.
Exactly.
But it will
still can catch the disease.
Yeah, but it will damn near protect you from dying of
it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But that number is pretty stark. The other number that is really stark is that of the 1,184 Washingtonians, citizens of the district, who have died during the pandemic of COVID-19. That's how many deaths it's of COVID-19. 77% of them are black. In a city that's only 40%.
Okay, no, all right, now I have to do. I've got to be the devil's advocate here. We question everything, right?
Right.
Where the fuck did we get these numbers from? Have we vetted?
Black or white.
Bro,
we can just look at them.
It's interesting because, like,
but that's a facts thing where we got to decide, like, because I can't really.
So I'm not sure you're really who you say you are.
I can't really. At that point, I can't argue with it because we have to have a set of facts that we all go off. If we don't go off those facts, then we all go off of whatever we think it is. Like, and I'm not saying what's right or wrong, but there needs to be a certain set of the things that we go off.
So back to what I was saying. So. Again, I'm sure you got it from somewhere. I'm not debating that. I didn't hear. I'm 40 years old. I'm sure we're all about the same age, right? We had to write research papers and things like that, right? We had to cite it in bibliography. And what I learned a long time ago is anyone can say information out loud, right? If I don't know where it came from, then
we're citing the source. It's the Washington Post and the D.C. government that reported this information.
And they compiled that over what time?
D.C. health data shows that 63,305 people in the district have been infected with COVID-19 as of October 19th. Of those, 33,119, just over half were black.
And as a person who was infected by COVID-19, I know the facts happen by that because I was
department called me
They called me.
relentlessly.
I had to give them this information.
Wow.
So I guess as a person who's been inside of DC, I know.
We're not here to say that anybody's fudging the numbers. In fact, we're saying quite the opposite.
No, I'm
that
just.
the numbers are legit.
I didn't
but
say
they
that
are
anyone's.
dangerous.
I
in
didn't
what they
say anyone's
reveal.
fudging the numbers. Again,
The numbers are
You just want to know
scary.
what numbers we're using.
bro, it's literally. I'm just asking
Where the sources.
See, and here's
Where's the sources?
See, and here's the thing. Like, it's being, but you do understand, and this is gonna look back. Is this you guys think I'm debating with you when I'm
asking questions?
I'm asking more questions because
about
all of this, because all of this is new. I don't know what that
He
is,
doesn't
but
know who that is. I mean, he's not gonna know who that is.
But it don't sound. But no, but it don't sound like somebody I'd be friends with.
No, I don't think no.
Like it sounded like.
I
was gonna say it
don't
sounded.
think you'd be friends with them.
So with that being said, it like I said, all this information is new to me.
I just think regardless, question everything. I'm always going to be a proponent of questioning everything.
Free thinker.
So I'm just saying, like, so and their process for scout. I'm sure their process is thorough. But are they scouring records? Are they counting people that died outside the count? Like, all I'm saying, I'm a statistics guy. Like,
Okay, so what they're counting are DC citizens, DC residents
died
who reside
inside
in
of the
district.
city.
No, not
Right?
where they died, but where they reside who have died. The city is 40% black. The deaths are 77% black. It's higher than it should be.
So-
the reasons for that are varied, and we don't know
Some
what
of the
they
guys
are, but there's probably a
So there's going to be
there.
people watching this. I hope they don't get upset. A bunch of my no.
It's okay. You're allowed to be upset.
No, I'm talking about my friends watching this. It's going to be a specific thing. And again, listen to me. Do not get upset at this, but I have to reference this. There was a producer getaway. About 14 to 17 brothers got together, right? Nobody, right? Everybody that was vaccinated lived. Everybody that wasn't vaccinated, unfortunately, met their untimely demise.
Damn.
So if you were to look at a statistic, you would blame the government on this one. This is all I'm saying. As someone who taught black history in the 4th grade, who lived all that shit, who learned how to shoot guns because of the people that we're referencing run the government. You know what I mean? I've sold people. I'm watching the names. I've sold dozens of these people firearms.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a man of action. Like so when it's time to go do something, all the speculation happens before I show up typically.
There's no reason to do anything about this. What we're saying is this city and other cities and this.
So all I'm asking is, out of the people that died, is the ratio of who was vaccinated and who wasn't. That's all I asked
We
initially.
don't know that. That's not what this is about.
But I think that's that is a very important disparaging fact. If none of those people were vaccinated, then we're not taking into account the vast majority of black people that didn't die because they had access, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If all of those people chose not to get vaccinated.
Well, now you're the one that's speculating. I mean,
I'm not speculating. I asked.
There's a wide range of reasons.
I asked a question that's easily researchable.
Well, hold on.
Out of those deaths, you can go and see.
But here's the question that's legitimate.
So not
the
adding that statistic.
40% black. The deaths are 77% black. That's non-negotiable.
Right.
You can
And
count
neither
how many
would be
people are black.
out of the deaths who was vaccinated and who wasn't. That's not negotiable either.
So is there a question of whether vaccination was denied to black citizens of the district or not? That is a very serious question. And if that's what you're interested in finding out, I'm also quite interested in finding that out. If we're talking about the sort of general disparities in the way that the health system or the
that's a whole big look.
That's
an umbrella conversation. I asked a specific one.
We don't know how many of the 911 black residents who died were vaccinated.
I think it's okay to say we don't know on certain things.
Which is fine, and that's all I was actually going for.
That's the thing. I think.
All right, if all these people die from this or that, did they do this first?
Were they vaccinated or were they
Except
not?
they weren't. In my mind, I stopped listening to the rest of the statistics from that because they weren't vaccinated.
Because they chose.
If they chose not to, or if they weren't. But we don't know that. We just know that they didn't have it.
But we know. I don't know. I've had the conversation.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
question.
And where does the source come from? How do we find that information?
Because
we could find out.
because like where I live,
we'll find that out.
So So where I live, they were begging people to come get the fucking thing.
Right.
You could literally drive up to the CVS and be popped within 10 minutes. Black, white, old, whatever.
I was.
So what I'm saying is, so I'm glad now. I think we're actually having a proper dialogue. This is good. What I'm saying is, let's say that those are 50 people in the same elderly community that didn't have access to a vehicle. My lady is a hospice nurse. How many of those deaths were people that caught COVID and nothing would have fucking helped them?
You're kind of approaching the same idea. The question
so my thought is it a genuine
underserved?
So you make sure is it they're underserved and mistreated, then we react or do something. Was this a statistic that just looks fucked up and makes you feel funny? That's what you make that disparaging difference. And then you either react and do something, or damn, that's just a crazy statistic.
I'm going to go ahead and skip that step and say that this difference is unsustainable. There's a problem here. It's such
because
a
I could use this. I could use this.
But that could have been one. That could have been one fucking cookout.
No,
3 or 4. That could have been one.
But it's literally
if
double.
it's just from June, then okay.
40 to 80 is double. All right.
Excuse me.
That's not a fair enough percentage. I don't think this is going to shock anybody that the DC government or any government at all in these United States underserves black folks in this country. That's not a shock to anybody. Whether it's
we can take COVID out of that, and I can give you 1,000 other ways.
Look, I'm black. I know you're not telling. Not to be funny, bro. You're not telling me anything I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
So
whether it's by intention,
like I'm the black people you're talking about that are underserved,
by maintaining the status quo, or whether it's by simple ignorance and not knowing any better and just carrying on with the way we've always done anything, all of those things can be a factor. That's not in this data, and we don't know that. What we do know is that this has disproportionately impacted people of color. We know that once we found out that this virus was disproportionately killing people of color of various reasons, you know, whether they were in housing situations that were different or whether they were in jobs that put them in more
or like
risk,
I just gave you an example where 75%.
What we know,
75% of a group passed because they chose not to get it.
We don't know that.
No, I'm talking about the group. The story I just told you that you've glazed over.
No. Go get your vaccine. We are 100% vaccine. So go get your fucking shot.
But you're.
Well, hold on. Explain the point again one more time.
Which I thought I had.
Explain the point that you. Let's hear the point.
One more time.
What I'm getting at is that this country changed their position on whether we needed to lock down, whether we needed to do anything and everything to stop this once they found out that the people who were most impacted weren't white. And all of a sudden we needed to reopen the economy. And all of a sudden we needed to get everybody back in school. And all of a sudden we needed to treat this like it was just the flu and whatever. Here we have a classic example in a city that has an identity as a black city, even though it is not a majority black city now, but the deaths are 2 to 1 black.
Gentrification.
It is out of control, and it is yet another example of either intentional or unintentional status quo maintaining underservement of an entire population.
Because I think to the point of in those things like, all right, well, let's just say they chose not to get it. I'm sure in Tenleytown, I'm sure in Van Ness, other folks chose not to get it. That environment that they're in as well, too, probably makes them less susceptible to being, whether they work from home, there's other things that go into that. And I guess that's the point where I run down the middle of it is like, all right, yeah, I'm pretty sure folks of all areas of the city chose not to get it. Their environment that they have to exist in day to day is a little bit different than everybody else's inside the city.
And if black residents of the district chose not to get it, what are the factors that drove them to choose not to get it? Is it
a lot of good
distrust?
There's a lot of
which
factors.
Seems to be the obvious one.
That's what
it's just because I chose to get it. Like I get why a lot of people might not get it.
Vaxxed. That's the thing.
Everybody should get their
we
vaccine.
could assume that. We don't but we could, to your point, we could easily assume
No, we know that.
That's what they say. If vaccination is doing what it's supposed to be doing, and what I said just a few minutes ago about preventing you from getting put on a fucking ventilator and dying. That's the shit that the vaccination is supposed to do.
They're trying to protect your health and up to the point to where they don't have to fucking clog up bedrooms in the fucking hospitals and then people can't fucking
Because God forbid if I get in a car crash, go home, who knows? Like,
all the people that have been dying from this fucking disease have had underlying issues that helped cause this shit to die. It wasn't because of just the goddamn virus alone. It's because of underlying issues. I'm tired of this shit. And shit always does cross.
So with that being said,
5-year-olds.
So back to the analogy I've used 4 times successfully now.
Doesn't matter.
If I hear that this many people die in planes or cars or whatever, and you don't give me any substantiating facts, that's like attaching deaths to COVID in a period of time. And whatever, again, I guarantee you, again, statistics can easily be manipulated, or whatever the caption is changes the entire reasoning behind it. That's all I'm saying is, if again, from literally the life I live, my background currently and recently during COVID, knowing for a fact that friends of mine lost 10 to 12 people at once.
I know.
Because they weren't vaccinated. There are statistics somewhere as black men. I get and so all I'm saying is, if you were to isolate that, and this is all I'm saying, this is to me how I see speculation. They all passed because of the same trip. Now all it takes is one person to go, well, I mean, they all were together. Someone must have done. Like, this could be if they're trying to kill the black man. We all get together and this happens. It's like, no, everybody, when groups get together, they're spreading events.
Right.
So, like,
I see what you're saying.
Now, remember, now, real quick. As someone, now, real quick, I don't live in the city.
Right.
So I get a lot of my reporting from people that live here and videos. What I do remember about COVID is cats out there 30, 40 deep, fist fighting the cops. And then my homegirls and homeboys that live on that street saying 12 people got the shit. So what I'm saying is, if they're out there fist fighting and thinking it's a joke and partying, that doesn't reflect in that statistic. I love math.
It does reflect in that statistic.
I mean, it reflects as a number, but we don't know. That's what I'm saying. So we don't know. It's now speculation.
What's the issue here? You want to tell everybody to get their shots, right? Get their shots.
I never said you shouldn't. I already said I'm vaccinated.
Yeah, he said it. Yeah, right, exactly.
And I even just told a story about how everyone that wasn't vaccinated passed.
If the underlying problem is people are not getting their shots, the question of why they didn't get their shots is maybe.
How do we get people to trust it? How do we get people to trust it?
That's a great question.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why I brought
all your families and loved ones are vaccinated.
That's why I jokingly.
Are you going to be the only one left without it, and you're going to die, and all your fucking family and your friends are alive because of the vaccination? How fucking stupid! I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to hear it. I ain't gonna go into it.
We've been having that conversation.
There's been factual shit about doctors and scientists taking the fucking vaccine, and it's proven it's not deadly.
So
all these anti-vaxxers saying that people die from the vaccine. It's like 1% Y'all telling stories about 1% of fucking people dying from the vaccine.
If anybody thinks the vaccine is unsafe, then ask yourself why billions of... So we're all on the internet right now.
People get the vaccine first.
We're all on the internet right now.
Get the vaccine first then. Fuck out of here.
Because I'm sure someone's going to go, well, the Tuskegee Airmen, Operation this, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, conspiracy theory.
To be clear, in Tuskegee, the issue was that they didn't get vaccinated.
Oh, the polio vaccine.
They carry around cards.
Here's my favorite one.
Hold on, give us two.
My favorite one is recently someone brought up to me, they were like, it's just like the hepatitis B vaccine when they gave out AIDS to the black community and the gays, and they try to wipe us all out. And I said, right? And I'm like, yo, that's crazy, because the first people to get it were people that aren't on the internet. I try and tell people, everyone watching the internet right now or listening to us, we're all on the same demographic. The people that own this shit don't participate. You think motherfuckers that own apps are on them dicking off? No. We're all on the same. We're all on the same boat. That same one.
You want to be in the same category as Marjorie Taylor Greene?
That same 1% got the fucking vaccine before we even knew it was available. Exactly. So if it was that dangerous, they wouldn't have gotten it. Trust me.
I just don't know why they would want to kill off all the workers in the capitalist society.
Right.
I don't know. You kind of need the guy. That's the only thing. That's my only question there. You need the work, right? You kind of need the
workers. The nurses and the doctors have the fucking vaccine.
The robots haven't taken over fully yet. They come
not.
Look at these dead ass birds.
Yo, my man's
Okay,
killing
let's
it.
take a quick, just to mention, because we're
kill the dead ass birds.
we're nearly at the end of the show. We do want to
Nearly at
mention.
the end of the should I give you a time update?
Yeah. No, Brian did. But I do want to mention somebody. I do want to mention somebody who did get COVID. Dennis Prager, conservative radio host. Noted ridiculous. This is a whole beat on this show of conservative radio hosts who end up getting COVID.
Fuck yeah.
I'm going to read you his quote. I'm broadcasting from my house because I'm going into I'm not going into the station as I have COVID. I have tested positive last week, and I have been steadily improving. At no point was I in danger of hospitalization. I have received monoclonal antibodies. That's Regeneron. I have, of course, for years. Here's my favorite part. For a year and a half, been taking hydroxychloroquine from the beginning.
Trump advised.
With zinc. I've taken Z-Pack, azithromycin. Along with the Zelenko protocol, I've taken ivermectin. I've done what a person should do when one is not getting vaccinated. It is infinitely preferable, this is his quote, to have natural immunity than vaccine immunity, and that is what I have hoped for the entire time. Hence, so I have engaged with strangers, constantly hugging them, taking photos, and then knowing that I was making myself very susceptible to getting COVID, which is indeed, as bizarre as it sounds, what I wanted, in the hope that I would achieve natural immunity and be taken care of by therapeutics. This is exactly what has happened. It should have happened to the great majority of Americans.
Herd immunity, baby.
This guy went out and tried to get COVID. First of all, it took him a year and a half because probably nobody wanted to hug him. And second of all, yeah, he almost got like ventilated and shit.
By default, he didn't want to try and get it either. He was trying to spread it.
That's what
I took away from that. He said, that's the exact takeaway
for that one.
Right, what the fuck? That's exactly the takeaway I had on this.
All right,
so he's a serial killer.
Yes. Pandemic loneliness has pushed many Americans to search for love and connections, but
I know what we're doing on the way home.
The surge.
I got a list.
The surge in romance has caused all these people to go on
Stop off in Springfield.
Don't miss.
They keep getting scammed. Adults 60 and older reported losing about $139 million to romance scams in 2020. So, we're close behind.
I'll tell you, I have a quick story on this.
Yeah.
Years ago, I worked in the Apple store for a while, and a lady came in, and we were sitting, she was asking some questions, and she's like, at the end of like the workshop, she called me up.
Got your number.
She's like, can I ask you a question? She's like, yeah, I sent this money to this guy, and I haven't heard from her. And I was like, all right. Okay. I'm entertaining it. Talk me through it. And she's
was he a Nigerian prince?
No, he was the VP of British Petroleum.
I'm sure he was.
Of course he was. I said, all right. I walked it through. I was like, all right.
Yo, he rich. Why you ripping her off?
Rich. Why is he ripping you off? I was like, well, what's his name? She gave me that. I was like, well, if he's a board member, we can figure this out. We go on there, and we scroll, and we scroll.
Ain't no way.
He's not there. She's like, so I got scammed. And I was like, you got scammed.
Yeah. Sorry, lady.
Sorry.
So how much did you scam her for?
Our final quote tonight, we have to read this. This is
someone runs up and says, I'm a Vic, you have to get him off GP.
This is
can't be the lick.
From the former guy. The former guy issued a statement on the passing of the first black Secretary of State, Colin Powell.
Go ahead, read in the voice.
Wonderful to see Colin Powell, who made big mistakes on Iraq and famously so-called weapons of mass destruction, be treated in death so beautifully by the fake news media. Hope that happens to me someday. He was a classic rhino, if even that, always being the first to attack other Republicans. He made many people are saying mistakes. But anyway, may you rest in peace.
Wow.
What a fucking dick.
Is Rhino like a reference to like the African plane or something?
Only, but yeah,
I have a Republican in it.
Oh, okay.
All right, where can everybody?
I thought he was calling him I thought he was like. I was like, oh, he references Africa.
Of course he did.
I just saw racism.
That's a good fucking point, though.
Well, it was Trump, you know. All right, so where
You
can
just spelled
everybody
it wrong, man.
follow you on
You did. You spelled it
where
wrong,
can
too.
everybody follow you on the socials?
Count Fif, KOUNTFIF at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that. Come
All right.
follow me. Come see what the greatness is about to happen.
And buy the records. Pulse, where can everybody follow you?
EMPULS on all platforms. All of them.
Oh, yeah, Twitter, at DC Cortez on Instagram, Catch 'em Quarter.
All right, and you
That's
can
it.
follow me on Twitter, but not currently because I'm still suspended at Chef Chip.
Oh yeah, I just got my page back on Facebook. I almost forgot. I'll give my government this for this one time.
No.
Derek Summers Jr. Or whatever. Don't
hit him up though. Don't
hit me up if you're gonna spend money on my stuff, but
Yeah, but
don't correspond.
shit.
Literally, all bullshit aside. Moving forward, don't anybody reach out to us unless it's about money. Like moving forward, don't add me unless you want to buy my record. Like don't.
Hey,
I got a lot of friends.
What do I do?
I don't need no more.
All right, we got.
And he's by the way, he mixes all the music of mine. You're gonna find like 90% of it he mixes and masters because
All right,
apparently.
we gotta finish up. So you can find me on Twitter at Chef Chip. You can find the show on Twitter at Chip Chat RR. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Rip Chip Chat.
Oh, the Hippo song that y'all played. I just realized that's the joint. That's the one you made, right?
And you can find us, of course, on Thursday nights here on Rip Radio Network at 9:30. I'm Chip. That's Tez. That's Pulse. That's Count. You've been listening to Chip Chat on Rip Radio Network.
11:19, 68 degrees.
Hey, can we smoke?